go. Let's just start.
Less than a minute, everybody. Keep talking.
I'm gonna start a pool where we guess how long the meeting is. And whoever gets closest wins a prize.
Was it right? Where's the show and tell?
I'll call this meeting to order. This is Alpine Town Council meeting on February 3rd at 7 o'clock. We've actually already been in session, had an executive session, so we're just coming back into the regular meeting. We've already done roll call. Everyone was here. Next thing for us is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Did everyone have a chance to look at the consent agenda?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, do we have a motion?
Motion for approval of the consent agenda?
Second.
We have a motion. It's been
Second.
seconded by Scafidi. She beat you to it. All those in favor, any discussion? All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. We'll go right into.
Mayor?
Yes,
I think, did I miss it? Did we jump over?
The agenda.
Adopt the agenda?
I'm sorry.
No, it's kind of,
We needed to just adopt
the number missed it.
Yes, I'm sorry. So, okay, the agenda first. Has everyone seen the agenda?
Yes.
Do we want to make any changes to the agenda? Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
We have a motion. It's been seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, we have adopted the agenda. So we've done the consent agenda. Next, we will go on to our reports. So I wanted to take this time to talk about Alpine Meadows sewer problem that has arisen over the last few months. And so I'll try to be as quick as possible on this, but I wanted to give everyone in attendance a background on the brief history of like the ordinance that came, the timing and all that. So we've been talking about updating the sewer and water ordinances for years. Literally since I became mayor 3 years ago, we've been talking about doing it. So there's a lot of moving parts behind the, staff has to approve things. The engineer, Jorgensen Engineering had suggestions on what we should do. They sent us some really early draft ordinances in May of 2025. And so then by May of 25, so in 24, we had some internal emails going back and forth about language that they suggested for us, but our first draft of the ordinance was in June of 25. That's the first time that we received it. So some people have assumed that we started the ordinance process like very late in, it was adopted at the end of the year in 25, but we've been working on this for a long time. So the specific issue that came to light on November 10th of 25. So there was a customer of the town of Alpine, their sewer was backing up, and we heard about it at the manager meeting on Monday. And so the staff went out and found the problem, ended up having to dig up the road, repaired it. Turned out that the lateral pipe was not tied into the main sewer. So come to find out that this has happened several times over the past 10 years that we've owned it. And it's the first this administration had heard of it. So we fixed the problem, we fixed the road, and then we decided that what we need to do is try to see how big the problem is in general. So we have received 2 bids to literally rent a camera to go down into the sewer, see how many are connected, how many are not connected, to establish how big the problem really is. So, but it's government, everything takes a really long time, and this time of year is not the best time of year to do that whole process, and we're trying to be as conscientious of the tax dollars and try to get the best deal we can, so we're getting several quotes. So subsequently, Alpine Meadows has asked, I think they're a little afraid that we're just gonna leave them holding the price, the ticket, the receipt basically to pay for the whole thing. And that's not our intention. The changes in the ordinance basically said that the homeowner owns from their house all the way out to where it ties into the sewer. And I've talked to several local residents that express concern of what that is. And after hearing from them, I understand there might be, like, if something happened, would your homeowner's insurance cover it? All these different things. So it's a big conversation, and I'm here to tell you that we're willing to work with Alpine Meadows to try to come up with the resolution, but we're still trying to figure out what the resolution is. We've actually put in a capital request at the budget meetings to pay for that, because $40,000 is like one of the bids that we got. So it's going to have to be a capital request, and the timing of when that happens is still kind of up in the air. A suggestion that we would recommend at this point for Alpine Meadows: they own to the middle of the road. What you may consider is doing like what's Riverview Meadows has, where we own, the homeowners in Riverview Meadows own up to the right-of-way easement, and the roads are dedicated to the town of Alpine. So if you go on the GIS, you can click on the roads and it says town of Alpine. Well, that's not the case in Alpine Meadows. So you may consider dedicating the roads and putting it, the easement's already in place, but dedicating the roads, which may mean that you need to replat the whole subdivision. I'm sorry to say, but that might be what needs to happen. So we're willing to work through all those issues with Alpine Meadows. Everything just takes time. And there's kind of some questions going back and forth. Why is it taking so long? I'm sorry, but it takes government long. We're really busy trying to run the town right now, and something like that kind of derails us. So we're working on it, and we hope to have a solution soon. But I thought I would take this time to tell everyone in the town that this is a problem that we're going to be taking care of. So really wasn't looking to take public comment. There's at the end of the meeting, people can make a public comment, but I just wanted to get that out there so people know where we are standing on that issue. Anything else that I missed? Did we
I
get it?
think we covered, most of it. I think we just have to figure out if we're amending, we're going to just do a deep dive on what is said in the ordinance. And then I'm hoping, we get our bids quickly and we can get out there
Yeah.
and camera.
Yep. And just to clarify what Ms. Scafidi just said, we're looking at redoing the ordinance and changing that language. So that is kind of a long process, as I just laid out, but I think we could get that in place, by the summer, if we get everything figured out, what the solutions are and how we want to change the language. So anyways, we're working on it, so thank you for your patience, and now on to bigger, better things with the rest of the meeting. Let's talk about liquor here in a bit, because that's what you all came for. So, Madam Clerk, do you have a report?
I've been working, have completed the closeout of the calendar year recently. W-2s, 1099s, getting all that taken care of, and working on the capital budget. The town council has held 2 budget meetings the last 2 Thursdays at 3 o'clock. The third and final capital budget meeting is this Thursday at 3 o'clock. And the capital request that the mayor just mentioned will be part of that conversation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Planning and zoning was submitted via writing. So was the Public Works Director and Code Enforcement Officer. So if you're interested in those, you can go on our website and click on those and download them. So next is the presentations for the applications for the liquor license. So this, let me just say, this is a new process for us. This is the first time that this administration has had to deal with it. And there's not like a formal process in place. So, sorry, it might seem a little loosey-goosey, but right now what we're focusing on is these applications and figuring out what the next step is. We would like to have everyone come up, give us, you know, we want to spend 15 minutes per applicant and maybe 5 to 7 minutes on the on your presentation, and then the rest of the time questions from town council. Then after that, what we would like to do is take public feedback on, you know, hopefully people will have watched the presentations and they can download the presentations from our website. But we want to hear from the public. And then after that period of time, I think what we're going to try to do is maybe get it down to 2 or 3 applicants that we would like to maybe bring back and ask some more questions to, and then hopefully make that decision within either the near future. I wouldn't put a time frame on it, but we just want to make sure we're making the right decision, and you know, we're not taking it lightly because it's really important, and there's a chance to make a huge change in the town of Alpine. So you know, we are taking it seriously, and we are appreciative that everyone came and are willing to apply and tell us what they've got planned. So, Councilmember Larson, could you just start a timer for 15 minutes? And I'll just keep an eye on the clock as well. But Ken and Lisa Harris are first, so I'll invite you up, and I will. So right here, and there's a button on there. You could turn that on. Yeah, and then you might need to point that down. There you go. And let me full screen this. And so hopefully you guys, Lisa, can you see that, or you got your card?
I have my little cards right here.
Perfect.
So I'm just going to read you my business summary.
Yes, please.
It's called The Wine Bar. The Wine Bar will be a boutique wine and cocktail bar located at the mouth of the canyon. The bar will offer a curated selection of wine, handcrafted cocktails, and small bites in a warm, intimate atmosphere. It's designed for conversation and community. Our goal is to become part of the town's go-to destinations for date nights, casual evenings out, and social gatherings. Emphasis on quality, hospitality, and atmosphere rather than volume drinking. So our business concept, a cozy, stylish wine cocktail bar with limited but high-quality menu, to provide an elevated but approachable drinking experience that brings the community together, to grow alongside the town and become a long-term local institution known for excellence in hospitality. Our target market is young professionals, couples, local residents seeking an upscale, relaxed evening venue. Visitors and tourists exploring the town, small groups, date night customers, and after-dinner crowds. The market opportunity is Alpine's growing, population's growing. There's limited competition for this specialty wine and cocktail venue. So our menu would be mid to high-end range wine and artisan cocktails. There should be another.
Oh, sorry.
That's
There we
right. Seasonal strategies, I would like to change our menu by doing quarterly refreshers, seasonal cocktails, mocktails, and rotating wines. Hours of operation, Thursday through Monday, 3 to 10. I would like the opportunity to extend those hours when needed. Our staff will be trained in wine and cocktail knowledge, customer engagement and education, and they will all be required to take the Wyoming Bartender's Guide. And then I had sent a couple pictures of what,
Yeah,
well, that's my
that was the next one.
projections.
Oh, you
yeah.
just tell me what you want.
So that's what, I took ChatGPT and put our building. We own the building, so that is one of the spaces, and I just had them develop what I wanted. And then the next one is the outside. So that's what I want to do. I think Alpine needs that, a little bit different venue for drinking. Socializing, drinking. Prosecco
Yeah.
is my favorite.
Is that all you had on your presentation?
that's-
Okay.
that's-
Do you want to go over this annual budget since you sent it to us?
Well, I kind of just projected that.
Sure.
You know? And what we did is take, like, we assumed we could fit about 1620 on the inside comfortably, and I cut that in half, and then put like $40 per person, because that's usually what it is when you go out. And that's how we got that. And then
hour for
I just, yeah, each hour. And then I just put in utilities, rent, all that.
Sure.
You know. It's kind of hard because it's new.
Oh, yeah, this is all new to us. It's all forecast for sure, just
Right.
do you have any information on, how much tax you think it would bring in to the, town?
That'd be your department.
That
Ken.
would be, well, is it 5% in the area? Is it, or 6? What is it?
Tell you the truth, I don't know.
I think
Okay.
it's 5%.
5%. Yeah,
Yeah, so you'd have to do the,
do
Do
the,
the math on that.
166,000
Okay.
times that 5.5, whatever it is.
5.
And when I saw that, I kind of wish it was in there too. I noticed it wasn't there, but I noticed it on the way here.
Well, I kind of did my best on just that. I don't know. Make a projection.
Okay.
166,000 tons,
It's-
0.055.
That's, 5% is 8,300.
That's good.
and then if you were approved, you already have the space ready, you just would
Yes.
have to retro to that.
Yes.
Okay.
The space is empty. I just want to start putting stuff in
Okay.
there.
Can you tell us what space it is exactly?
It's number 4. So we put the apartment building up. So first I want to say, so Ken and I both owned a business in Jackson. Ken just sold his mattress shop that he had for 30 years. I've had my salon for like 16, 17 years now. And we were able to, Ken wants to be in Alpine more, of course. And we built in that apartment building going into the mouth of the canyon. So it'll be on the bottom floor on the corner unit.
It's right next
There's
to
8
Four
units.
Pines Physical Therapy.
Oh,
Right,
yeah, right.
Yeah, so there's 4 one-bedroom apartments above, and there's 4 retail down below.
right.
So we have one available for this, but we also can expand to another unit if we need to.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know, because we can,
make it grow.
as it grows, we can do 2 units, we could do 3 units. The one's already did a long-term lease on one of them, so we could have 1 to 3 units
So, yeah,
that we
Yeah.
could expand to.
Realistically, how long do you think it'd take to get up and going?
Probably with construction, ordering materials, everything, 4.5 months.
So for the summer?
Yeah.
That would be your
definitely
goal?
be ready for the
yeah, I'd
summertime.
want to go by June.
Any other
It
questions?
could be sooner, but I'd rather be realistic.
And I'll be kind of trying to keep this, I've told the board here, I don't like this project process. I think the state of Wyoming needs to completely redo this. But I'll be asking everybody the same or very similar questions. So with on-premise and off-premise, right now, it appears through this you'll have all on-premise sales. However, you say you can expand. Have you done any kind of projecting to if you opened up one of those other units next door and made it an on-premise, or, excuse me, an off-premise package sale? Because that's what this, this isn't just
That's exactly
wine.
what we would want to do. I want to sell more specialty wines right now, but as we grow, a liquor store would be great right there.
Okay. And then have you projected as far as employees?
Right now,
Us
we're
for
starting
now.
out soft, us and our kids,
Okay, thank you.
but I would like to hire more people.
Dino?
Dina's daughter.
Any other questions?
No, I think that covered them.
That's it?
So, well, you talked about expansion, which is great. You have the room and the ability to grow as the business grows. Would you be renting the space out for private parties or using?
Yes, that's one of the things. It's perfect for like birthday parties, bridal showers.
Uh-huh.
If you look at that second picture of the outside, I mean,
Oh,
that.
book club.
The sidewalk, we did 12 feet all the way over the front and side, so there's 12 feet of sidewalk that we can do the seating. But then again, we've got 32 feet of parking area.
So we have
that's
enough
wide
parking
open
too.
That we could use for, different venues.
But yeah, I want book club, I want parties, I want bridal showers. I want it to be really cute and cozy.
If you weren't awarded the liquor license, would you still be able to develop some kind of a similar business in the space, or would you just move away from it?
I don't think so, because it's all about,
I guess it's a wine bar.
yeah, it's
so-
a wine
But-
bar and
But you don't
specialty
have a backup
cocktails.
plan for something else you could do in the space yourselves?
No, I didn't have a backup plan.
So is this this
Depending
might
on
be a
it.
technicality, but if they were going to be selling
Food.
wine, if they're selling food, then couldn't they sell the wine as well? That's your
Like
understanding,
a
right?
restaurant license.
No, we don't have enough, that space right there, I have no interest in doing that much food. I want small plates, I want like
Charcuterie boards,
girl food
wine, or
that
cheese
goes with what,
crackers,
yeah, that kind of thing. It would take a lot to make a kitchen. We would have to open up the other side already, like, right, starting out to put a
Okay.
kitchen in. So restaurant license, I did look into that, and then that's 60% food and only 40%, and I don't want that.
Okay.
I want all wine. And there's nowhere to buy, like, a nice wine in this town.
Well, hopefully we figure that out in this process. Well, sounds good. Any other questions, you guys?
That covered it.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, looks like next we have Jacqueline Ruth.
I have a clicker or do
No, you just have to boss me around.
just tell you to click?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, well, good evening, Mayor and council members. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Jackie Ruth, and I'm here on behalf of Triple JL Companies, doing business here in Alpine as the Alpine Standard Chevron. We appreciate your time and consideration as you review the applications for the available retail liquor license. So, Alpine Standard operates the primary convenience store and fuel station, serving both local residents and visitors year-round. We truly are the go-to stop in town for locals running daily errands and for tourists passing through or staying in the area. In addition to fuel and convenience items, we also operate a gift store that brings in customers every day. Many of those customers, especially tourists and second home owners, regularly ask if we sell alcohol. At this time, we have to turn them away, which means those dollars could possibly leave Alpine. Our goal with this license is not to change who we are, but to meet an existing demand responsibly and keep more spending locally. Next slide. Not loud enough?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. The Alpine Standard is deeply invested in this community, and that commitment goes well beyond our business operations. We are an active member of the Top of the Rockies Club, which focuses on community outreach, sponsorship, and local support initiatives. We consistently give back to organizations that serve Alpine residents, including the local food bank, animal shelters, the American Legion. We sponsor and actively participate in many community events, including co-sponsoring the hot dog roast for the Winter Jubilee recently, donating and supporting the Coney Classic, donating to Casino Night, with members of our staff volunteering their personal time to serve as dealers. We sponsor one of the breakfasts for Mountain Men Days, and recently the Alpine Education Foundation. These efforts reflect how we operate as a locally owned, community-oriented business that believes in reinvesting in the people and organizations that make Alpine a strong place to live and visit. Next slide. If granted, the liquor license would be used within our existing retail footprint. This is not a bar nightlife concept. Our focus will be on packaged beer, wine, and spirits, Wyoming-made and regional products where available, products suited to residents, second homeowners, and tourists. Responsible service is top priority. We already have extensive experience managing highly regulated products, including fuel, tobacco, and lottery. That experience carries directly into alcohol compliance. Our operations include strict ID verification. Our POS system already allows you to scan identification to make sure you're of age. Clear internal policies for compliance and staff accountability. If approved, we would have tips-trained management, and alcohol would remain a supplemental category, not the primary focus of our business. Next slide. Based on national industry averages, alcohol sales typically represent between 20 and 30% of total convenience store sales when fuel is included. Using my annual sales numbers that I already submitted to you, we conservatively estimate annual alcohol sales in the range of $650,000 to $820,000. And that is conservative. I used the 20 to 25% range. These sales would be driven by local residents, seasonal tourism, convenience for customers already shopping on site. We expect steady, predictable sales, not volume spiked or event-driven consumption. Next slide. Using Alpine's 5% combined sales tax rate, projected alcohol sales would generate approximately $32,800 to $41,000 per year in additional sales tax revenue. Beyond sales tax, this license also contributes through Wyoming state liquor excise taxes, continued property tax stability, payroll and employment-related taxes, and licensing and regulatory fees. Importantly, this revenue is generated without requiring any new infrastructure or additional public expense. Next slide. Granting this license would keep consumers spending local instead of sending them out of town, support year-round business stability for us, improve convenience for residents, especially during the winter months. From an employment perspective, it helps us retain existing jobs, potentially expand our hours, increase our staff's pay, and continue investing in staff training and compliance. For tourism, it complements Alpine's outdoor recreation and hospitality economy and encourages visitors to shop locally rather than passing through. Next slide. So in closing, we are fully committed to responsible alcohol sales and to operating in a way that reflects Alpine's values. Granting this liquor license would strengthen an existing local business that already gives back, one that contributes economically, employs local residents, and actively reinvests in the Alpine community. Thank you for your time.
Thanks,
I'll
Jen.
take questions.
Okay. Did you say that you'll likely have to hire new employees,
Nope.
additional? Okay. But you did say you would expand your hours of
I
operation?
could, yep. If
Okay.
this brought in more income, we could expand hours.
Where would you expand the hours, like days?
Later in the day. We are open 7 days a week.
Yeah,
We shorten our hours in the winter months, so, and that cuts into my employees' hours. They all take a pay cut in the winter. So it would be nice to be able to maintain our hours, same hours year-round.
when do you close, like right now?
Right now, 9 PM on the weekdays.
When would you anticipate closing if,
10, maybe 11, but 10 most likely. I mean,
Okay.
just giving it that extra hour would be
Sure.
great. We always get a 9 o'clock rush.
other questions?
I know they have that silly wall that was put up. So where would sales take place?
The silly wall. So previously, we had a liquor license. And if you're familiar with our building, where the auto department is where the liquor was, and they did have a pony wall that we can put back up. They had coolers that lined one wall, and they had shelves on the other wall. It was a 21 and older section. We could easily just put it back that way. We can expand down the road, but we do have a place to just get it going right out of the gates.
How soon do you think you would be up and going?
If you said yes, tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
So, yes.
Have you already ordered your alcohol?
I already got my contacts. I know exactly what to do from here if I get the yes.
Open tomorrow.
I'll move out the milk.
Okay.
Straight.
What other questions, guys?
You've already answered employees, and then just back to, so you'd be more off-premise packaging, any, or on,
Packaged beverage license
package,
to take off.
yeah, off-premise,
Oh, okay.
yeah, off-premise.
Correct.
Yeah.
Would you, any thought of doing any type of on-premise?
There's thought. I mean, really, my priority is just being able to sell the packaged beer and alcohol, but I mean, there's all kinds of opportunities here and ways of expansion
Yeah, I
and,
just
you
didn't
know,
know if
hosting
it Made
events.
sense to shorten up that room with a couple of tables and chairs, or just, if anything,
I mean, it could happen, but right now I just want to get the license in to be able to sell. I mean, we truly send customers away all day, every day that come in looking for, you know, where's your beer? Do you have wine? And we don't. So we've already got the customer base. We just need the alcohol.
the product. Thank you.
Just to expand on that, on your math of, 20 to 30% total sales can come from liquor. I don't argue with that. I don't know any different. How do you mentioned having a customer base. Those folks are already going somewhere else, Burlum's or KJ's or wherever they go. So how is that 20 to 30% realistic if only
I 100%.
lower percentage
I do
of
think
that?
it is. We have a lot of local customers that still shop with us and then have to go somewhere else. And, I mean, they're always saying, someday, I hope you get your license someday. I hope you get your license someday. So, and in the summer, it's all tourists. They just expect to be able to stop in to a convenience store and grab a six-pack before they head out fishing. And I have to send them somewhere else. And a lot of the times, they're just stopping through Alpine to get fuel. And because I don't have it, I don't know where they go to go purchase that. So,
I'm not familiar with, I'm not that familiar with all the different liquor license available, but is there another license that would allow you to do that? Okay.
nope, I looked into the restaurant license too, but it had to have at least one entree served inside, and people can leave with the alcohol, which is the whole purpose of the convenience store grabbing some alcohol is to go. You can't just sit there and drink it, so.
And how many employees?
I have 8 right now.
8. Yeah.
I would say even with the malt beverage, though, you still have to have the packaged. You just can't, it's a lot to it. So I've been trying to get this since we bought it, so.
Well, you were pretty thorough with your presentation. Covered a lot of points. We appreciate your local community investment, of course.
Yes,
Thank you. We're done?
Thanks.
All right, you're welcome.
thank you. All right. Nice, dear. Looks like we've got Bud Chatham next. Hi, Bud.
Hi, everyone. Bud Chatham with Alpine Valley Resort. Start my clock here. My slides, I'm going to probably pass through a few of the slides and can go back to some of them if you guys have
Yeah.
questions on that. Thank you for being, giving us the opportunity in this. There's a lot of great opportunities in this room and, exciting times for the town of Alpine. You can go ahead and go to the next slide. Just the overall aspect of, of our license opportunity here. We hope to hit a lot of different capabilities that this license offers. Off-premise opportunity here with this is, we will have in our lodge that we're building right now, we have it already laid out, a liquor store and a beer cave place already, so that's already there in place. This license is essential for the future of our restaurant. With that, we have on-site dining options, food and beverage options while people are enjoying the pool that we'll be putting in, room service for RV sites, and future cabins, new dining options, for the community too. Also, we certainly hope to cater to the local community from that standpoint. We have event areas that we can host events, whether it's weddings or private parties, local gatherings, community events. As the restaurant grows, we have offsite catering options. And then with that too, we hope to offer a consistent kind of year-round opportunities for both summer and winter activities to increase tourism here also during the winter. Overall, kind of the biggest aspect of this is that we look at our operation kind of as a force multiplier for tax generation in the community. As our amenities encourage people to stay with us and stay longer with us, then that also increases the sales tax and the lodging tax that they're paying with us. So you can go on to the next slide here. Sorry for the rough Snake River function scanning. Just a quick layout of our area here. Overall, it's just under 19 and a half acres with 6 different lots. The green is where the green area is where the resort, the RV sites are. We have 120 sites. We also have the ability to build up to 10 cabins, cottages that can be up to 3,000 square feet each. So good size opportunity. We're using those areas right now as just our deluxe RV sites. Lot 22, which my pointer is not working on the screen.
Yeah, I don't know why that's not.
Is up there.
Kevin, point to where 22 is.
Yeah, up here.
It's on the up, it's in the yellow.
The upper
It's
left
up corner there, yeah.
there.
Yes, that's where our lodge is being built. Lot 21 is right next to that. That will be where the pool and restaurant is. And then future development possibilities for lots 2, 3, and 20. You can go to the next slide. Yep. With that there, just kind of a more of a zoomed in area. You can see where the lodge is being built currently right now. The pool area and pavilion. We have green space areas, RV sites, a future restaurant. Just to kind of give you a timeline on some of these things. Our lodge is permitted in 2 stages. The first floor is supposed to be done May 26th of this year. Fingers crossed on that one. The event green spaces, we already have those in function. The pool and pavilion area will be fall of this year, spring of next. A big patio area that's off the back of the lodge will be spring of 27. Restaurant and bar opportunity. We look to for that to be at the fall of 27, spring of 28. In the meantime, this permit will allow, for food trucks and also, a mobile cart, drink cart situation too. So we can still capture some revenue and sales there. Of course, I've already mentioned about the cabins, which we're looking to be fall of 28, spring of 29. And then the development of the lots, will be down the road. Go to the next. There's just some quick renderings of what we're building right now. You can go to the next one. We're excited. There's a little bit of a layout of kind of the resort in the sense of where the pool is going to be. The pool aspect and layout of everything, it's just kind of things just to show you guys of what we're looking at there. And the back area where the patio area will be too for events. You can go on to the next one. Here's the first floor. You can see we do have a dedicated liquor sale room. I know there's certain towns, counties, and state have certain requirements. So we built this with the idea that it needed to be a separate room. Right next to the liquor sale room there's our main office that has a viewing room, for security and just making sure things are good. And then we have the beer cave that's across with the coolers. Go to the next one. Here's just just tax revenue from the last. We're just heading into our 6th year. We've been fortunate enough to have some decent growth. From 2021, we generated about little bit more than 30,000 in tax revenue between property sales and lodging tax. This last season, we were just under 200,000 in generation of revenue for taxes. You can go to the next one. This is just estimated sales for captured, for people staying at Alpine Valley. Just taking some assumptions here, about 15% of people staying with us, would be looking, this is for an off-premise liquor store. So, just making some assumptions just on research that about 15% of the occupied sites would, look to do a purchase, averaging around $25, kind of was on the conservative end for that. We have a peak season, shoulder season, and off season that you'll see kind of carried out throughout the portions of this, and I can touch on that towards the end over like projected growth. But with that, we put an off-premise from people staying at AVR, very conservative. On this stuff, we try to do estimates, but I don't want to overpromise things too. So we did a estimated sales around $46,000 with sales tax generated below that. You can go to the next slide.
How much, do you have the time?
You got 7 minutes? Almost?
7 minutes?
7 minutes,
left.
okay, let's
Go
blow
ahead.
through this. So this is off street, more numbers there, just to say for people who are, just driving by what we were projecting. You can go to the next slide here. Here's projected revenue for Alpine Valley for people staying on. Again, a capture rate about 25% of people who are staying with us, about 2.5 people per site. Average spend, we did, again, really low numbers of $25 per person. Understanding, drinks and food will be a lot more, but you can see the projected revenue we have there. You can go to the next one. And this is, a capture rate for people within the community, people driving by, and estimate of, the traffic that we have there on the corner. We will be able to put lots of signage on both ends of our property there. You can go to the next one.
Okay.
And then, go ahead and skip that one there. Yeah, that's about most of the presentation. There's a couple slides here
I don't have any more.
that I'm missing
That's
here as far as the link goes. But overall, just want to emphasize for us the importance of having this retail license and being able to use it in many different ways. And I hope we've kind of displayed to you with the size of our property and the investment that we've made into it, that we're really excited about this kind of taking us to the next step. We're really proud to be a part of the community. We annexed in to keep growing with the community, with the town of Alpine. And just looking forward to doing it more.
All right, thanks, Bud.
Sure.
So you run, how many employees do you run before this season?
Yeah.
Typically?
Yeah, so we have about 35 employees right now between.
At the RV park?
At the RV park, yeah, with work campers and landscape people, drivers that we have for our river operations.
Oh, so the whole,
Nope, that's not including Whitewater, but
Okay.
we do provide transportation for
Gotcha.
for people coming from that are coming here specifically to Alpine to do a river trip because it's so much quicker.
And how many new employees do you anticipate having with
Yeah.
just the lodge?
Yeah, just with the lodge, another 10 more.
Okay.
And then, as we add things along, obviously our restaurant would be about another, 20 more employees down the road. And then, other things that will grow with that in the future.
Okay. I just have a question about shoulder season. I mean, I understand the concept or whatever, but
Yeah.
you're trying to reduce that as much as you can in the
Yeah,
off-season.
yeah,
by
that's
having
one
the
slide
cabins
that
and
I wasn't able to
okay.
include. But right now, our peak season is about 60 days, which is about a 90%. Our shoulder season is another 60 days, which is about 50%. We feel really confident that we can get our peak season over the next 5 years, going from Memorial Day to the end of September, being at that 90% capacity. With the way we've grown over the last, each year, with the Virginian RV park closing in town, and amenities like this that we'll be adding. Not only, just people will be staying with us, but staying with us longer.
Yep. Other questions from town council?
Everyone's covered, quick.
Just to clarify, this internal blueprint, that's for the buildings that are currently being built?
Yes, ma'am. It sure is.
And then, and I appreciate the idea that you can use this liquor license over multiple, platforms across your business. If you were not awarded this license, would that hold up your restaurant? Or would your restaurant meet all the requirements for just the regular restaurant liquor license?
It would hold up our restaurant in the sense that we wouldn't be able, we wouldn't look at it as a priority. Like having a license like this would give us the flexibility to do a lot more things. We wouldn't be able to deliver out into the RV park. We wouldn't be able to have events without getting separate, very individualized permits to do those things. So.
And you're planning to keep the restaurant open year-round?
Yes, that would be the goal for sure. I think, as we start the operation and go, it would probably be phased into that sort of situation. But absolutely, our goal is to have the park open year-round, with the cabins that we want to add and other facilities that we'd like to do. We like to, what we're building with the lodge is with the idea that it could eventually be a snowmobile destination as well, so that whether that's rentals or an operation that's doing guided trips.
Okay.
You hit on employees and well documented for
Yeah.
on-premise and off-premise.
So, okay, great.
I think the question everybody really wants to know is, will the pool be?
Rent a space.
If we buy our,
The goal is to be able to have that, the size pool that we're hoping to build. The goal is to have access of a certain amount of slots a day to be able to do
Yeah,
that.
you'll have a capacity.
Yeah, yep, exactly. So,
Like a caddy day.
yeah, they'll let the unwashed.
But
Yeah.
I know, certainly for us,
Hot
we.
tub or no? I gotta
Yeah,
have a hot
yeah,
tub?
there'll
Okay.
be a hot tub. Certainly for us, we, whether it's doing donated river trips to causes, sponsoring events here in town, doing donated river trips to the school district, having local days, for our RV park, we would look to continue that sort of theme that we really enjoy doing those things.
Is this the one that you wanted to talk about?
Yes.
Come on, or grab that, and then you can just have those numbers in front. I can't show it to everyone, but it'll be on the presentation that people will be able to download, but just describe those numbers.
Yeah, so this goes back to the concept of the force multiplier here. So a 25% increase for us. So if amenities, people come and stay with us, and like, wow, that's a great pool. We were able to get food and drinks. We were able to stay 2 or 3 or 4 days or a week. We want to come back, expand. If that allows us to grow, just 25%, increasing our peak season from 60 days to 75 days, then that translates to more sales tax, more lodging tax, which would increase, our tax base to the town about another $50,000. And so for every, 25% that we would increase, those things like that would happen for the
Okay,
for the towns.
awesome. Thanks for clarifying that. Any other questions for Bud? Thanks, Bud. Okay,
Thanks.
switch gears here again. I believe the Shockies are, no? Okay, so Crystal McGee. Unfortunately, Crystal had a family emergency, so she's not here. But we will, yeah, she sent a letter. Let me just read this real quick.
Are we able to post these on the website?
Yeah, they're on there right now.
Oh, they are
So,
already.
Yeah, so you just go to the agendas,
Okay.
and then you can find them on there. So, yeah, unfortunately, she couldn't make it, but we have the presentation. Is that all we have for right now? We don't have the actual presentation? Okay, she didn't give us one?
It's printed out on the-
Right, but we don't have, I can't like go over it and show it to the people here.
Looks like she included the business plan and with her letter.
Okay, well, we
Community
will.
benefit statement, closing statement.
Yeah, what I would recommend for town council is to go through this, and then we'll email Crystal directly, any questions that we have. But I guess one of the main questions is whether, is this gonna be, and we need to make sure we figure that out. But, okay, so I'm sorry that she was not able to make it, but let's just keep moving on. So next, we have the Shockies.
You're not a shock.
Brett's gonna do the heavy lifting.
Permit?
You're gonna build something.
Hey,
All right, thanks, Brett.
Brett Bennett, Alpine Architectural Studio. Jacqueline and Robert Shockey are here tonight. They're the business owners. So I'll start with a cover letter that was submitted with the liquor license application. So I have it here, I'll just read from
Okay.
it. Robert and Jackie live in Alpine since 2006, and they have about 5 properties in the town limits. Includes a local construction company, and donated local projects such as extended concrete slab for the Alpine pickleball court, provided concrete for Alpine horseshoe pits, and concrete for electronic signs up the Grays River Road. Their proposal includes the use of an existing building, it's currently vacant, for retail liquor sales. I just want to go over the first slide, Lakeview Estates, lot 611C. You can see the little indicator. It's on the corner of Alpine Drive and Short Street. The next slide should show you a street view. I think everyone's pretty familiar with this area and building. So the lot 611C is about 0.44 acres, has 2 buildings on it. This proposal will be for the building in front, which is north or on the highway. Previously ran as a business, financial advisor business. It's been vacant for how long? About a year. Okay. And so the point of that is it's a clean slate that can accept shelves and coolers pretty easily. The next 2 slides, because I like to use town maps, lot numbers, and then the address. I think it's 171 Alpine Drive, and then the zoning map, just to clarify that it's an existing commercial property, and then LUDC information to just explain that this is a permitted use. Includes retail stores, parking. There's room for 4 or 5 spaces there. I think this building is about between 700 and 800 square feet, so it only calls for 2 spaces. So we have plenty of parking on the property for this business. The next slide just shows some elevations. I believe this was a requirement for the liquor license application to the town and the state. To the right shows the layout of the building. You have an entry with a deck. That would be where the point of sale would be located. And then on the south, or looker's right, would be coolers, a little island. There's an existing restroom. This is an existing building that's ready to accept something like this. The next slide shows some existing photos on the bottom and just some eye candy on the top. Pretty straightforward retail liquor sale layout, and not a lot of time to set this thing up. Probably a couple weeks, a month. I mean, however long it takes to source coolers and plug them in, right? So the warm products that don't need to be chilled could be stocked immediately. Let's see, the owners did a certificate of completion training, and then also formed an LLC for this application. Let's see, alcohol server training requirement has already been met. And I also want to stress that this is owner-operated, so there's not a third party with a lease. They wrote a lease to themselves just because that was on the application. That's the last slide. And then as far as employees, we're talking 4 to 6 to cover the hours. Hours of operation would be, that's up to the town really, like, I don't know what the limit is. So if we say 10 PM, open sometime in the afternoon, late morning, that's really up to discussion with the town, what is allowable. So, you know, per your ordinance. Let's see, as far as everyone's talking about revenue, I think it's, you know, common sense tells you this is a liquor store in the town of Alpine on the highway. It's going to generate some revenue for the town. To say an exact number, I think would be kind of a guess. So that's the short and long of my presentation. Do you have
Okay.
questions?
Yes. 4 to 6 employees, those are obviously new employees to the town. Any thoughts on on-premise events or, you know?
Has been discussed. Do you have any thoughts on that?
We would have to do renovation if we decide to add on to the building. I mean, it could be possible. Because it will be according to building permits and
Yep.
would actually fit there in zoning, well, not zoning.
Yeah.
It's the initial applications for a retail liquor store. If they want to house something there, they could, tasting.
Yeah. Or
But it's-
events like on the grass or something.
Yeah, I mean, that would be fine.
Okay,
We're not talking about a restaurant.
right.
I mean, we could put benches out front and, you know, people can, if it's allowed, I'm assuming it is, you know, for people to watch the parade and drink alcohol, I mean, that's.
They're already doing it anyway, so. Any other questions? I think they hit the employees. Tax is kind of up in the air, but I think we can kind of guess on that. Any other questions for you guys? Hours of operation, 7 days a week?
7 days a week, we're thinking 9 to 9 in the winter, and then 9 to 10 in the summer.
Okay. Okay,
That's all I had.
Okay, any other questions?
covered it, no?
Thanks a lot, you guys.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Brett.
welcome.
All right. One more, I think. How many more do we have?
Just one.
One more, all right. El Capitan, the captain, and his posse. Wow.
Is there any way to turn the air?
Yeah, we could turn the air on,
Okay,
but Monica was gonna be cold, she said.
okay. I'm like, it's really hot in here.
We're trying to turn up the heat on.
Sorry, I apologize. It says 75. It's just 75. It's like hot yoga. Oh. Thank you.
Great, thank
Here,
you.
we're gonna push it down. Jim doesn't need it.
Jim doesn't need one? Okay.
He's not gonna look at it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So this is on, no, off. Please.
Thank you.
Oh, another one? Oh, okay. Okay.
Do I have the right one? What's this? All right. Thank you guys for coming and
All right, good
Take
evening,
it.
Mr. Mayor, Town Council members, Mr. Sanderson, Monica and Sarah, thanks for having me tonight. My name is Dave Walters, and this is my wife, Becca Walters, and business partner. Together with Brian James, local longtime architect, we are here to present a plan on how we would utilize the liquor license if we were chosen. In the next few minutes, we will show you that our business plan is not only the best option for the utilization of this license, but will greatly enhance the quality of life in our community, bringing in more people to visit and live in our beautiful town. Slide number 1. Oh, you can continue on just number 1 there. We're excited to introduce a community gathering place that strengthens local connections plus grows town revenue. This will be a beautiful mountain modern wine house and dining park. Oh, next slide. Yep.
Gotcha.
Offering street side, wine bar, and retail liquor store, food truck park, and outdoor community space, bringing families, locals, and tourists together. We are dedicated to Alpine's future as we have been in the past. We have lived... Oh,
Thank you.
sorry. Thank you for doing that, Becca. We have lived, worked, and raised our kids in Alpine for 18 years, owning and operating Alpine Adventure Rentals. After investing into Alpine Adventure Rentals, we are now ready to reinvest into our community. We also have been, for 5 years, owning and operating Gray Bear Productions, putting on live music events like Reggae in the Rockies, Music at Melvin, and supporting Music in the Mountains series, both businesses bringing in thousands of tourists. We own one of Alpine's last vacant Main Street lots. Serving our community has been one of our passions, as Becca is a volunteer at the Alpine Food Bank, and I am a volunteer at the Alpine Fire District as well as on the Alpine Tourism Board. What does Alpine lack? Places to buy liquor? What have the residents of this town communicated, and what is needed most? Let's fill this void. Adding a standalone liquor store does not add additional revenue for the town, but divides the current sales between even more businesses. This plan offers food and beverage choices for eat-in and take-out options, provides a flexible outdoor gathering space for families, groups, and business meetings. It's been 10 to 20 years since the last new retail liquor license has been issued, so we need to look at this as a long-term, once-in-a-decade opportunity. At this point, I would like to hand this over to our architect and Alpine resident, Brian James. He and his family have been dedicated to the growth of Alpine and living here almost 19 years.
Thank you. I'm just going to jump in.
Yep.
So we developed a concept for a building that responds to Dave and Becca's main goals here. So with street side, wine bar, and walk-up access, rear parking to reduce congestion, pass-through access to the food truck court, and outdoor amenities for an inviting community space. So next slide, please. So this is a view of the site plan with the context of Main Street. The building location takes advantage of the new zoning laws, allowing it to be justified to the property line and provide a connection to the sidewalk, bringing life to Main Street. The restaurant and bar are located on this side facing the road. The dining space is organized around a central fireplace with glass walls that open up to both Main Street and this courtyard area. The bar is the bookend to the restaurant, but also opens up to this covered outdoor circulation space that is the threshold between the sidewalk, Main Street, and the courtyard. The entry has direct access to the liquor store, which is a sidecar to the restaurant, and then parking is justified to the rear of the site to maximize the open courtyard space. Next slide. So this is an elevation standing on the sidewalk just in front of Main Street. And so the building addresses the street, and the roof extends out to create covered outdoor dining space, again, enhancing the life that's on the street. And then the transparency created through the building allows you to see both the restaurant and the courtyard beyond. Next slide, please. This is the view standing on the feeder road, so we're still looking at the Main Street side of the building. And it gives a sense of the scale of the welcoming covered breezeway. That is that connection between the sidewalk and the courtyard. And then here we see the street side bar that serves all three spaces that surround the building. Next slide. So this is standing just inside the parking that's off of Alpine Road. So ATVs and snowmobiles that are coming out of Grays can access from here. And the building forms the backdrop to the courtyard gathering space. And with the roof extensions, they provide an outdoor covered protected area on this side of the building as well. So the building doesn't turn its back on any of the public. It's inviting and welcoming from all directions. So this is the high-level 2-minute summary of the development of the architecture, and I'm going to turn it back over to Becca.
All right. Thank you, Brian. So, a food truck park drives growth and community impact. This project supports entrepreneurs with flexible options, starting with 2 food trucks we've already purchased that would be available to rent, which lowers the startup cost for an entrepreneur, and space for additional independent or seasonal food trucks. It strengthens social interactions. We'll have a stage for live music and events, and it provides a gathering space that's great for families, businesses, and tourists. This project is scalable and flexible. As the community continues to grow, this space is designed to grow along with it, allowing for expanded indoor food service and the addition of future food trucks. Our long-term growth plan prioritizes the success of our food truck partners, ensuring sustained viability and shared success for all owners. Next slide. Food trucks are a growing business, and this model has seen success in many other small communities like ours. Next slide. Research also shows that gathering places significantly increase social interactions, well-being, and community involvement, creating stronger, healthier towns. Next slide. A retail liquor license is what makes this project work. Food trucks fill the variety void, but need a beverage anchor to be financially viable. Wyoming law does not allow a restaurant liquor license to work for this design, since food trucks provide most of the food. Wine and liquor retail sales are also not allowed with a restaurant liquor license. A wine bar encourages groups to gather and linger, increasing local spending. Alpine does not lack places to buy liquor, and a standalone liquor store or bar doesn't improve the quality of life of most Alpine residents. Next slide. Okay, tax and economic benefits grow as Alpine grows. The combination of annual sales tax and property taxes are estimated to be $54,000 with room for growth. We gave you guys the breakdowns on how we got all those numbers. Plus we're adding 20+ employees and entrepreneurs who will spend locally. Next slide. Our unique model will generate consistent local tax revenue. This experience will draw people from our neighboring communities as well as tourists to enjoy our town and support other local businesses. I'll send it back to Dave here.
Thank you, my love.
Next slide.
If we were awarded this liquor license, we would immediately start phase 1 of our project, installing an attractive temporary building opening summer of 2026. We would also start full architectural design and engineering of this building, working directly with planning and zoning so we can hit our goal of the final phase opening summer of 2027. If the master plan is adopted in time for this project, we plan on conforming this design to the new master plan. In closing, granting this project the retail liquor license strengthens community, a core value of the master plan survey results, and increases long-term tax revenue. This is not just a liquor store. This is a long-term investment in our community. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Town Council.
Thank you.
Let me know what any questions or any concerns I can address.
I think you talked about the employees, 20 new employees, hours of operation kind of up in the air, I would imagine, right now.
11 to 9, probably winter and, off season, and then 11 to 10, something like that in the summertime would kind of be our guesstimate there.
Yep. And then let me go back, the temporary, or the phase 1, that's something that you can get up and going as soon as possible, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know if are you gonna have grass out there and like the food trucks and like what's the?
Are you talking about phase 1?
Phase 1, yeah.
Phase 1 will leave room for obviously the development of this building in the front, but we will have a landscaped rear part of the building where we'd still have the 2 food trucks that we've already purchased and, an area people can and also this temporary building where people can purchase, you know, liquor and wine.
Gotcha. Other questions?
Do you have anybody interested at this point in the food trucks?
We have a lot of people interested, but, you know,
I mean,
a lot of people kind of like love the idea, you know, but,
Kinda wait, but
but yeah, you know, we have some friends that are in the business and stuff like that, and everybody's kind of eyeballing this to, hopefully it comes to fruition.
Food trucks are only one option though for food, right? Because you have the restaurant inside as well, or is that something different?
We're not going to be starting with a full restaurant inside. We will have a kitchen built inside of or have a space for a kitchen inside. We're going to have like dishwashers in there to start because we're going to have communal dishes for the food trucks. We want the food trucks to be financially viable, and as the business expands, you know, we can put in a kitchen or a pizza oven in there or whatnot in that kitchen just to make that viable. But the majority of the food will be sold out of the food trucks. Tapas or, like I said, pizza or something like that, some light appetizers are kind of our idea to serve on the inside out of that kitchen.
So people would buy their food outside, like in the winter, they'd buy their food outside and then go head inside where it's covered and warm by the
Correct,
fire?
yep, and we'd have like a 360-degree fireplace inside, so.
Okay, I think I understand.
That would be phase one, that'd be phase two?
Yeah.
That'd be phase two.
Phase two.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that was kind of my question is for next winter, you know, and again, these are beautiful, you know, I can see the vision. What does this look like in the wintertime? That first.
Sure.
winter?
And, you know, one of my thoughts is maybe having heated sidewalks so you can access the food trucks without us, you know, going out there and snow blowing regularly or anything like that, you know. Snow removal has definitely been in our consideration on this project, but, you know, I think that there's a lot of places that you see in winter towns where people are drinking and eating outside in mountain towns and ski resorts and so on, where, you know, we could easily make this a feasible thing with outdoor heaters and the inside space where people can still go outside and get their food and come inside and have a great time, you know.
If for whatever reason you weren't awarded this, this license, is there an option where you could go for the retail, or excuse me, the restaurant license? Have you thought of that as a concept?
You know, what we've been dealing with since we purchased the property a few years ago is how do we make building on this site financially feasible? And when you go into the amount of money that we spend on the property and the amount of money that we'd spend on this building, you know, we need to make sure that we're financially stable in this investment. So we're not comfortable making this leap without a retail liquor license and having wine sales at a wine bar and distilled beverage sales, but we would probably do either a different business there or a much more scaled down version and just, you know, have a food truck court that might only be open in the summer or something like that, you know.
If I understand right, the food trucks make it difficult to do the 60/40 because, like, you don't own the food trucks, or you're gonna.
It doesn't count towards liquor, like, because they're separate businesses, regardless of the fact that we are serving food there, and certainly plenty of food there, because it's not being run through our till, and then it doesn't count towards the 60-40%.
Okay.
And this is something actually I emailed the town a couple years ago, just inquiring on how we can make this kind of project work. And the town was nice enough to do some research and say, hey, this model, you know, our model won't work to get a restaurant liquor license. You know, it was the email I got back from the town. So, you know, we'd like to really take this opportunity and make this magic happen.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, it was super thorough, so
Yeah.
most of mine are
Everyone had
answered.
Most of these things in.
For off-premise sales, is it just as simple as going in and paying for it at the bar and then leaving? Or
Yeah, well,
how-
on our design there, I don't know if you want to go back to it, but we have a separate liquor and wine store near the restrooms there towards the courtyard. So people can, you know, come in, buy retail liquor, get to-go food on their way home, you know, if they're commuting back from Jackson, you know, they grab something from the food truck, grab a six-pack or a bottle of liquor, a bottle of wine, you know, sit inside, have a cappuccino or a hot cocoa, you know, and head home with their, you know, food and beverage.
Gotcha. And then also, just to reiterate, so it won't be a full kitchen?
It will not be a full kitchen to begin with, but the kitchen is there large enough so we can expand for future growth.
Perfect.
We just need to make sure we make this viable for the other business owners who will be managing their own businesses in those food trucks.
Gotcha. Thanks, Dave.
Any other questions? That's it. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank you.
Thank you, everyone. There was really great presentations all the way around. Like I said before, I think what we're going to do is, for lack of a better term, marinate on all these and come up with questions. What we will probably do is maybe we'll gather any questions that we have, and then the clerk or the assistant clerk would send them directly to you guys. And then we will figure out what the next step is in the process. We understand everyone's super excited to get going, and honestly, we look forward to any one of these projects opening up this year. It'd be great. So, yeah, we'll keep in touch, and I think it's likely that we'll have another meeting soon where people can come and ask any more questions. I would encourage the public, if they have any recommendations or what they want to see after seeing these, please reach out to us, send us emails, and say what you want, because that's what we're looking for is feedback from the public to help us in this decision. And then, yeah, hopefully we'll have this decision made, let's just say, in the next few meetings, town council meetings. So hopefully that's enough time to get you guys up and going this summer. But right now, I think what we'll do is maybe take just a 5-minute recess, let everyone clear out if they want to leave. But we have lots of great things still on the agenda that you may want to stick around for.
I know.
But we'll just
And thank
take
you.
a 5-minute recess.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Okay, we're coming back into session. Now we're moving on to our action items that we have for tonight. First one is resolution number 2026-06. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve resolution number 2026-006, acknowledging the award of $25,000 from the America 250 grant program administered by the Wyoming Department of State Parks and Cultural Resources and authorizing the use of grant funds.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion. It's been seconded by Ms. Weirda. Discussion. So this was a grant that we applied for, and we received the full amount of the $25,000. This is kind of in conjunction with the 250th celebration coming up. The two things that we have that we basically said we're going to spend the money on. Thane they got this money to do their mural, and they did a great job with their mural down there, but we don't have a big side of a building like they do, so we couldn't really do that. So we had an idea of actually trying to beautify the substation as you're coming into town with that chain link fence, that it gives us an opportunity. There's some real estate on there that we could get some screening on. So our plan is we're already working with the Star Valley Arts Council to find artists that will design sections of the fence. We'll get screening, and then it's an opportunity where it's 2 for 1, like show off local artists and also cover up that substation as much as we can. And then also there's a commemorative coin program. You guys probably remember it from our childhood, but like they had these coins that were like this big that you go to a gift store and you had an opportunity to buy. So, excuse me, the county is participating, and if I'm not mistaken, Sarah, all the municipalities in Star Valley.
I don't know which ones are participating.
Okay. So anyways, we don't know exactly how we're going to, we need to produce the artwork for the coin. We have to figure out how many we're buying, how much they're going to cost, all that stuff. But anyways, this will give us the ability to place the order for the coins and all that stuff. So that's the background on this. Any questions that people have? Essentially, we were awarded the money, and this resolution says we can go spend the money. So we're trying to be as transparent as possible and make sure that people, if this passes, if someone wants to participate and be one of the artists, whatever, you're more than happy to contact Lexi Weber or contact the town, and we'd be excited to see what ideas you had. So, any questions?
No, I'll just say, if I vote nay, I'm only voting nay just because I feel like with $25,000, I would have loved some public input on where to put it, like in long term. I do like the idea of anything art related is wonderful because we're lacking that. And so I think I'm just trying to figure out, was there anything more long term that could have been painted or brought up?
I brought this up at every meeting since this summer, since we knew that, we were going to apply for this grant and that we had the 250th committee that we put together. This was literally the one thing that was brought forward, and trust me, I wish we had some awesome place. We actually talked to Wyoming Game and Fish, who owns the lot directly adjacent to it, and to ask them if they'd allow us to make it a park where we could put up some walls that could be, a place for murals. And they said no to that idea, but they gave us the authority to come up with the landscaping plan and actually landscapes and trees and stuff like that in the future will help block that. So again, just another idea that was thrown out, but I hear you. I wish we had some better. We talked to the fire department about putting a mural on the side of their building. It's not smooth. It's that concrete block, and it's very rough. So it was unlikely to happen there. But anyways,
No worries.
any other questions, comments, concerns?
No, I think that's a good idea, and it'll definitely improve that area.
For sure. All right. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of resolution number 2026-06, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
And I'll abstain.
Okay. So that was 3-0, I guess. Passes. Good. Now, Cambrian. Madam Clerk, will you just give us some background on these couple invoices that we have on here?
Yes, sir. And so as we have been billed for the completion of the wastewater pretreatment plant project by Cambrian Water Operations, and so they submitted their final invoice of roughly $120,000. Plus, these are change orders that the town of Alpine entered into with them to provide equipment. And And so the one has the equipment list attached. They also included that. And so we did, just so everybody knows, we are having some concerns about the operation of the wastewater pretreatment system that was installed. And so I have not brought to you to town council, the final invoice for the contract. However, the equipment has been delivered and we are in receipt of it. And so we need to pay this one, these two.
Is it not 3?
No, the third one's just a list.
Just a list.
Just a list. So there's 2 invoices.
Oh, I see. This is just,
Yeah.
is that the list?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Any other comments, questions for Monica on that? Okay, hearing none. Do we have a motion to get on the table here?
Motion to approve the Cambrian Engineering invoices number 4772 and 4639 for the wastewater project treatment, pre-treatment project, December 2025 billing.
Second.
We have a motion, it's been seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor of said motion, say aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, we'll move into public comment. If anyone's stuck around for public comment. We have a bunch, just so everyone at home knows, we have a bunch of written comment regarding the liquor license, if anyone would like to read those. Any public comment from anyone on town council?
Can I just?
Go ahead. Yeah,
In
please.
regards to the liquor license selection, public comment is crucial to the process. We really need to know what the community wants, so tell your friends. Anybody listening, please send us a letter, send us some comments. It's very important to this process.
Thank you.
And I'll also kind of chime in. One of the things that's most frustrating about, I think, with the liquor license, it's very archaic, in my opinion. So it's frustrating that literally everyone that was, proposed, especially whether it's the wine bar or gathering places, all of those have value. Or like with the box store trying to just get packaged liquor. But yes, I think I'll chime with Andrea that it would be nice to hear from the public, just their opinion. And I wish we could revamp things at the state level, but it is what it is.
We'll let you fight that fight.
I know, long-term.
I'll just also segue or jump on that. It's just for the public, so you know, this liquor license that is given by the town, really, we're essentially giving somebody a buttload of cash because we give it to almost free. And I say we, this is every municipality in the state of Wyoming. We give it to for practically free, and then whoever receives it has the opportunity to resell it. They've resold in the past for several $100,000. So it's been driving me crazy because you're literally choosing winners and losers, financial winners and losers. This is a stupid process, and the state needs to change it. Also, the state would be great. I mean, we have, essentially a couple one wine bar and one half a wine bar application. The state doesn't have a wine bar license that we could have. I mean, these are all great applications that could make some fun places to visit for locals and tourists, and the state really needs to do something. With that said, we also, how the liquor licenses work is you get 2 packaged liquor licenses for your first 0 to 500 population. And then for every 500 population after that, it's 2 per 500 population. So when the census did a mid-census census, and put Alpine at 1330 or 1360, that's how we essentially got this one. And so for the 2030 census, if Alpine reaches a net population of 1,500, we'll receive another package license. So we could essentially be seeing this process all over again in the next 4 or 5 years. This whole board, we're trying to do it right. Please send in your comments and what you think would work best for the town of Alpine. With that, I'd like to get on another soapbox, if I may. And pardon me if I crack, but so a couple weeks ago, we lost, for some, a pretty special community member, Cassie Klinger. And so in that process, talking with folks, trying to figure out what, if anything, can be done. I'm using what limited platform I have. We have a few folks here. This is definitely more for those who turn in and watch it on YouTube, to talk about domestic violence. And with that, just kind of going over a couple of stats. If you look at, you can find information off of Wyoming's Department of Health. They classify intimate partner violence, IVP. So in Wyoming, we have 33.9% of women in Wyoming and 30.5% of men in Wyoming experience intimate partner physical violence, intimate partner sexual violence, and or intimate partner stalking in their lifetimes. An estimated 16.3% of Wyoming women are stalked in their lifetime. In 2024, 1,959 domestic violent incidences were reported to law enforcement, and 49.6% of these incidences resulted in arrest. Over 84% of these incidences were classified as assaults. I look back on the last 6 months of Alpine's records. As you may or may not know, Lincoln County Sheriff submits their reports to us monthly, and we post it on our 3rd week of the month. I don't know where it ranks statewide or nationally, but we essentially average, or I should say Lincoln County Sheriff's Office average roughly 1 to 2 domestic violence incidences per month, where the police were called, they came, and they recorded it. I reached out to High Country Behavioral Health to see just kind of, in their opinion, where Star Valley stands compared to Wyoming. And they said we're pretty much, our stats are right in there. So with that stats being right in there, meaning 33.9% of women, 30.5% of men in Wyoming experience intimate partner physical, that's 1 out of 3, roughly. In a small community like Star Valley, and especially Alpine, where everybody knows everybody, 1 out of 3, I mean, do the math right here in this room. We know somebody. We either know somebody who is the abuser or the abusee. There was a couple comments at Cassie's candlelight vigil that really stuck with me. First is say the quiet part out loud. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. I won't be quiet. I'm not the person for this. I have had an uncle who was a victim of domestic violence, and it ultimately took his life. So I've been exposed to it, but for the most part, I'm not a counselor. I just have this platform. So by God, here we go. And then the other thing was silence is what kills. so I won't be silent. Again, 1 out of 3 people, we know people. Talking with High Country Behavioral, because we see the posters, the flyers in the restrooms throughout the valley that, there is help available. Albeit, we're in Wyoming, we're rural, it's not as much help as, say, in other municipalities, much larger, but there is help available. So for me, where I'll speak out of the silence that won't kill is I'll speak out to the perpetrator. There's help for you too. The abuser, the perpetrator, I would think that you know that what your thoughts are in your head are not right, that you may have anger management issues or whatever, but equally you can call Wyoming Behavioral Health and get help there. I would hope that anybody in this situation reaches out to professionals, to friends, to family, and vice versa. Friends, family, see something, say something. There's also, if you go to Wyoming Department of Health's website, there's another link to the Wyoming's Strong Families, Strong Wyoming, and it's more targeted to the kids. You may or may not know, Cassie left behind 3 kids, all under the ages of 4 and a half. This website helps kids navigate communication skills, healthy conflict resolution, how to break out of bad relationships, working essentially to end that cycle. And I hope they do. Other than that, that's all I have.
Thank you for that. Did you?
I'm sorry.
One more.
I don't want to have the last word. I'm going to give the last word to Cassie.
I was asked recently, did he ever lay hands on you? And I said, no, he never hit me. What stuck out to me is when she said, Kathy, he didn't have to hit you to lay hands on you. So I read through all of my documentation of what all happened before I left. And it was kind of eye-opening because you don't see it when you're in it, you only see it when you leave. That it's true. There's more that's considered physical abuse than hitting. Being pushed up against a wall, a fist up against your face without hitting you, while screaming so hard they're spitting at you. They're spitting in your face. Fighting somebody for a gun, them yanking something out of your hands, just grabbing you, not even aggressively per se, like not dragging you or anything, just grabbing you. That is all considered physical abuse. And until she told me, it doesn't have to be hitting to be considered physical abuse. It never really clicked for me. And it never clicked while I was in there. Well, at least he's not hitting me. He's just calling me names. He's calling me a stupid, C word. Sorry, I'm trying to filter a little. A stupid bitch, a idiot, a piece of shit. All of that, you wouldn't think is as bad as if he hit you. But it turns out it was worse than I thought, and I was just justifying it because he wasn't hitting me. And even though I'm gone, it is hard, but it's so eye-opening to see how bad it actually was, so that it's easier to stay gone.
That's it.
Thank you. Did you want to say something, or do you? I could.
The question about this liquor license is quite different from where I was originally from. There's essentially a maximum amount of those that can be issued in this town then, knowing the size, like the town limits and how many people could possibly.
So the question for people at home was just information on how many liquor license we have and available to us, whatever. I'd love to answer that very intelligently, but I don't know all the specifics. But I will say it's very convoluted. in the state of Wyoming, it's very difficult to nail it down, but like, you can get a restaurant license. This retail liquor license is the one that people can be on premise or off premise, and that's why, and it could be transferred, so that's why it's kind of like the Cadillac of the liquor license in the state of Wyoming, and that's why we're restricted. Now, there's people that live in the county that have that same liquor license. One was in the county, and it's Flying Saddle was in the county and just got annexed in. So technically, we did pick up another license because of that. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, I just like thinking for the future of the town, you know, like, if you're only eventually gonna be able to issue 4 of those, if you want those 4 businesses, they get that to be something that the town would need and want.
That's exactly right. That's why we're taking it so seriously. Yeah. So anyway. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Any other public comments? All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Do we? Oh, no. Thank you.
Patricia McQuaid.
Could you point that toward you? Just bent there. Thank you.
Patricia McQuaid, resident of Alpine. I've been checking for reports from Riley Horvorka, who is representative to the school from the town council. I haven't seen any. I know there was a enrollment drive the beginning of January, and I'm curious as to how many students have been enrolled for the school so far.
I don't have that information. I don't know if anyone up
Amy
here does.
since Amy's on the board.
I'm meeting with our gal next week, so I can have that information for the next town council meeting.
Okay, so there'll be that'll be.
Sounds like we'll give you an update.
And
I think
then this, is Riley filing reports at all, or?
There was
our-
one in one of the January meetings, and I'm sorry, Pat, I'll email it over to you.
Okay.
It was on the
I mean, if it
agenda.
could just be put on with the rest of the
Yeah, I
stuff from
believe it
town.
was. It might have been when I was on vacation.
Okay, thank you.
We'll get it to you.
Thanks.
any other public comment? Could you hit the button on that so all the masses at home can hear you? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jenny Baker. I live in Alpine Meadows.
Yep.
And so I'm really encouraged that you guys have a plan to do the cameras. I'm most concerned about the public health component, to have raw sewage, going into the ground. It was my house that was not connected in November. And we've lived there for about 6 years.
Oh my God.
And we didn't, so it's hard to know if you're having a problem. I mean, once you start having a problem, but I just feel like we have a responsibility to the town. Hopefully we'll find out it's contained to a small area in the neighborhood and it's not a lot of lots.
Yeah.
But people can get sick from that if it happens for long enough, and that's my main concern.
Yeah.
So, and I also want to thank you guys for fixing it so quickly. They had it fixed the next day, and
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sorry that happened to you. I think until we know the scope of the issue, it's kind of hard to determine,
Yeah.
I don't know who's at fault. I can tell you.
We're not at fault.
Nobody in this room was at fault.
I know.
Yeah. That's what sucks.
We paid our connection fee. We've paid sewer fees for the past 6 years. We haven't been connected.
Yeah.
And there could be other people like that. And it is infuriating, but I mean, it happened and we have to deal with it.
Yep.
And I think the most pertinent issue are the public health concerns. We cannot have raw sewage.
Yeah.
Just.
We agree on that for
Yeah.
sure.
So
Yep.
But, I mean, it happened, I remember when they were putting in the subdivision, it happened a long time ago.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's contained to one area.
Yeah.
But I think it's really important that you guys are doing the cameras and figuring it out, so.
Thank you for that. We agree. We want to
Yeah.
get a solution figured out. And I don't know if I made it clear enough before, but the timing of the ordinance change had nothing to do with what happened at your house.
Yeah, and I just worry if it's on the homeowner and they have to dig up the road, if they're having problems, like our problems were sort of intermittent, and if you know, if you ran the dishwasher, then the toilets wouldn't flush. But I just sort of worry if somebody else knows that it's gonna cost them $25,000 to fix it, they're not gonna say anything, and then we have no way of knowing. So
Yeah.
I think it's really important to, like, it can't just be all on the homeowner,
Yeah.
but to figure out who's not connected.
That's why, so thank you for coming tonight and making
Yeah.
that comment. That's why we want to work with your HOA to come up with a solution that I described before, that maybe if you guys dedicated your roads to us and we added the easement similar to other neighborhoods in town, maybe that's a great solution. And then that gives us that line of demarcation where you own to your house, whatever, you know.
Yeah, we connected where we were told to connect.
Yes, and then,
Yeah.
right, and then, you know, the other thing was, we're trying to figure out, when future people do connect, they need to verify that it's connected, like we may have missed one or something. So those are some things that are in the ordinance that we just want to make sure. But we have been literally dealing with this for 3 years, trying to get this updated, because I don't want to go into the long history, but before I got here, up until we just changed that ordinance, the town of Alpine was losing money on every connection. I mean, the cost was on the town of Alpine. And now we've pushed the cost to connect to the developer, or like yourself, the homeowner that's connecting. So we want to ensure that that connection is a good connection. So
Right.
in the future, when it's dug up, we're going to be able to see our guys come and inspect it. Shouldn't be a problem in the future.
Yeah.
But we just need to take care of this problem now and ensure that everyone's, you know, not going to have this issue. So
Yeah,
that's
okay.
definitely, that's what our goal is.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Please.
Hello, Alec Ross, resident of Alpine. So I understand that we did a request for bids to understand the scope of this issue in Alpine Meadows, and it looked like the most competitive bid was $40,000.
I think we have one at 30 as well.
I believe the second bid that Craig obtained was around the 32,000.
Yeah.
So I've been looking online to see what one of these scopes would cost, and professional grade scopes would cost about $4,000 to $7,000.
I'm sorry to say that's not the type of camera that we need. Yeah. So what this is a camera that you can put in the main sewer line.
Mm-hmm.
You open up a manhole cover, right? And then you go down the line, and then it has this, Monica, what's it called?
So it has a lateral launcher on it. I used to be certified to TV sewer lines. So basically, you put a camera. It's a pretty big camera, but you put it in there, and then it has one of those like push cameras, like a plumber would use. But that's actually, so there's an additional cord in it. You literally line it up with the lateral and shoot it from the main. The reason you do that is in the event that, say, you are one of those people that have some sort of plug in their lateral, it's very difficult sometimes, especially if sewage gets stirred up, to actually see what's going on in the side that's plugged, because that's where the sewage is. But if you come from the back, from the main side, it's usually clear, and then you have clear vision. And so the people who will be doing this are qualified, are certified to actually televise the main line, tell you the condition, and they literally will assign a rating to every section of main line between manhole and manhole, and then also TV all the laterals. So the town of Alpine will end up with a series of mainline reports and lateral reports that we will then be able to put together an analysis of what's going on, what the current condition is, and any repairs that are needed.
And is this RFP we have out, is it to look at every property?
That's correct.
Okay.
Every property in the Alpine Meadows subdivision. Okay. Yeah, and so they're traveling from a different place. They have hotel rooms. It's not just, and then it's a $500,000 truck.
Okay.
So, as well, with certified operators.
Okay.
And then we'll own all that information, so we'll be able to upload it to our GIS, and basically we'll be able to verify, in the future, if anyone ever questions it, we've got all the data and everything, but Yeah, it's a very expensive and long, I mean, the first bid was like, they were gonna be here a month.
And it was, yeah, $45,000.
Yeah, so
All right.
that's why we thought we needed to get more. But yeah, it's not like having a plumber just stick a camera down and see how far it goes. Like, it's a little more involved than that.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
That does.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You seem to know a little bit about it. Okay.
Just a wee bit.
Stephanie, Alpine Meadows. Jeremy, thank you. I just want to let y'all know, you probably have maybe all donated to Cassie's fund already, but Bank of Star Valley opened an account for, and you can just go, there's no GoFundMe or charges. You can just go, Dan and I went today and went there to donate, so thank you for bringing that up.
Thanks, Stephanie.
I'm glad you all stayed so late.
Hi, Heather Goodrich. Alpine
Heather, could you
Meadows.
just make sure?
Yes.
Thank you.
Alpine Meadows president. So thank you for the information about the camera. That's super helpful and explains a lot. I had a couple questions. One is, what is sort of your plan for communication with us as we go forward with this process? Because you can imagine we have a lot of property owners that are very concerned, properties going on the market, people worried about what are their responsibilities for disclosure, those kinds of things. So the more information we can get, the more we can help people understand what's going on.
Well, that's all kind of been turned on our head. Mr. Sanderson, what's the process going forward?
Okay.
Just to clarify that all could have been avoided if we would have just had the open communication. So I want to make sure.
Yeah, we did try the open communication.
I was never notified or asked to have a meeting or anything.
Okay, I have emails. We have sent quite a few emails. So I think we're kind of beyond that point, as you were saying, so let's just move forward.
That's fine.
Okay. So I do want to talk about the road easement, because we brought that up many times over the past few years. So the problem with the road easement was between the town and the developer, not the town and the POA. So the POA is, we can't be responsible for solving that issue. Like, when we've talked about, I don't know if you remember, we've talked about this before. You guys have to go back and find the legal, all of the things that happened when the town took over. And then, I don't know how we solved that problem, because that wasn't with the POA. Does that make sense? It was with the developer and the town, not us.
Jim, I had forwarded that to you before, and I think we can find that again and send it to you. Because I did have meetings with Lisa, and I think we kind of just left it at that point, but there was an agreement that required them, Alpine Meadows, to turn over those easements after annexation, and it was never complete. But I'll forward the legal agreement to you, and if their attorney needs it, we can make sure they see it as well.
But it wasn't Alpine Meadows, it was helping that. Yeah, but not with the POA. That's the problem, so, okay. But we were definitely open to resolving that issue, but again, that's not with the POA, so.
My hope is there's a solution that we can figure out.
Yeah.
That we can do it going
sure.
forward. So
Yeah.
we'll figure out what that process is.
Okay. We were concerned about EPA, so just, our attorney has notified us that we do have to, someone's got to notify the EPA if there's a problem, but I feel like we're not there yet because we don't know the scope of the problem. I think you covered a lot of the questions that I had. The only other thing I wanted to say is that, and this is more of a town thing, not an Alpine Meadows specific thing, I'm glad you're going to take another look at this ordinance, because I just was reading it today to make sure I understood it. And, it is concerning as a homeowner, the thought that we might be responsible for that lateral line all the way from the main. That is just such an enormous cost to expect homeowners to take on. And just so you know, if you, as you're looking at this ordinance, on page 11, it mentions the sewer, and it talks about town responsibility, and it says the town is responsible only for the maintenance and repair of the sewer mains, not the lateral, obviously. And then if you look at the water portion, it says town responsibility. This is on page 23. It says if the leak or defect, this is just referring to water, is located between the curb stop valve, sometimes that's actually on the property line, and the main line, the town of Alpine shall perform the repair at the town's expense. So that was the part that confused me, is why does the new ordinance say that the town is only responsible for the main and not the laterals? in terms of sewer, but for water, it's responsible for the main and the lateral all the way into the property line.
Hopefully I understand your question, but sewer and water are different. The water has a shut-off valve, you know, so that's kind of a good line of demarcation where we can say the town owns to that valve, and that's where we did most of the, I don't know about your neighborhood as much, but that's where we replaced all the meters for this summer. So that's kind of a good line of demarcation. You guys have a lot of yours are inside the house. So it's difficult for us to, you know, exactly say where that line is in your neighborhood.
For the water?
Yeah. On the sewer side, we don't have a shut off, you know,
Right.
it just flows all the way. So I think the thinking was, in general, that the homeowner should own that section all the way to where it hooks up to the main. No one was picking on your subdivision or my subdivision or anyone else in the town. We just did what we thought was right as a suggestion from our engineer. So we talked about it a lot, and we're willing to talk about it again. And if we need to change, if there's enough public uproar, and we're willing to, I'm telling you right now, we're willing to look at changing it again, and we want to hear from, you know, anyone that's concerned about the way it's written now, so we understand it better. You know, Councilmember Scafidi, talked to her insurance, I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, it's fine.
saying that.
I reached out because one of the things I wanted to say now that we're uncovering all this
Right.
is I asked my homeowner's insurance, is it a special endorsement? Is it a service line coverage, utility line endorsement? Because I had the same feeling. I'm like, if this is a $20,000 fix, that's not on my budget. So I think, yeah, I'm going full circle trying to figure out that side of things too, so we
Okay.
understand.
We want to understand that as a town, so.
And I also want to say, I think this is brought to light, and there's not a lot left to annex into Alpine, but it's a huge reminder that it's more than just the legal documents. Now we understand what are the lines? Were they put in by a reputable contractor? This is much bigger, and it goes to another level. That's just another checklist for us as a town.
I will tell you, if the town of Alpine ever has another opportunity to purchase a neighborhood and the infrastructure like we did, you will have to prove
That it's,
every square inch is up to our standard. So I will just tell you, it's unlikely that will happen again, but it's more likely people will annex into the towns, they will build to our specifications. The way we have an ordinance written out, I don't know if everyone knows this, but you cannot tie into our system unless you're in the town of Alpine, is the way the ordinance is written right now. So people that are just adjacent to the town of Alpine that are interested in building, they understand that they've got to come in and build to our specifications. So that's why we wrote those. So I hope this is the last time we ever have to deal with anything like this. But it was just people that skipped steps 15 years ago or more when this was done. We're paying for it now, and buyer beware, I guess.
I mean, skip steps is an interesting way to describe it, and some of the lines, I don't know if you know the history, and that's another reason why we need to work together, is we do have a lot of institutional knowledge, you know, especially with Lisa, but some of the lines were disconnected by 24 inches. So the lateral was disconnected from the main by 24 inches. That's not a step you skip.
Well, someone did. I don't know. I mean, faulty.
There was a lot going on. Let's just say that. There was a lot going on in 2005.
Right.
So.
But you're saying that not to point out that we did anything.
Oh, no, of course not.
Oh, okay.
No. I don't think the town did anything. I wonder if the town did anything to inspect, you know.
We never had the opportunity. They weren't in the town of Alpine.
No, I mean when they were annexed and they took over the infrastructure.
We
and
would have literally had
assumed-
to pay for the camera.
Right.
we're
Exactly
doing.
what they're
So it
doing
just
now.
never-
Yeah.
I mean, who thought?
But now the developer would pay for the camera to prove
Right.
their hookup.
Right. Okay, thank you.
So, yeah, thank you, everybody. Any other public comment? Thank you, everybody. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor of adjournment? Say aye. Aye. Thanks a lot.
I know. Say every time.